Control is a third-person action adventure with strong emphasis on supernatural powers. You play as Jesse Faden, who is the newly appointed director of the Federal Bureau of Control, or FBC in short. There is something called the control point. You must find and cleanse different control points in different parts of the game. The control point is used for fast traveling, upgrading your special abilities, constructing and upgrading your weapons and mods, as well as changing your outfit. Although you can only change your outfit by accessing the control point found in the central executive section of the game. What impressed me about the control point is how the room shifts when you cleanse it. The combat in Control is fast-paced, aggressive and fluid. The combat is not cover-based, but you can take cover if you want. This is the kind of game you enjoy coming out guns blazing. I actually like games like this where you don't always have to be taking cover. I like coming out guns blazing. You are equipped with a weapon that transforms or shapeshifts. The weapon is called the service weapon. You have access to a variety of supernatural abilities like levitation, the ability to launch objects at your enemies, and the ability to create shields using objects and debris around you. As you play the game, you gain new abilities. You can also upgrade your weapons and these your new abilities. I will split the combat section into two parts: the weapons and the special abilities. Let us start with the weapons. The weapon in Control is a shape-shifting gun that can transform into various forms such as pistol, submachine gun, shotgun, sniper rifle, rocket launcher, and a grenade launcher. The game calls these forms astral constructs. You don't reload your weapon. Your weapon, or should I say your gun, recharges itself. You should apply mods to help increase the recharge speed of your weapon, because sometimes weapons with slow recharge speed can fuck you up during combat. Something impressive about the service weapon is how it moves when you aim down the weapon. And like I said earlier in the video, your service weapon transforms or shapeshifts into different forms. The first form you start with when you play the game is grip, or what I call the pistol. You can construct other forms by finding the materials needed for crafting, but the pistol is surprisingly good. There are other forms like shatter, or which I will call the shotgun. There is the spin weapons form, or the machine gun. Then there is the charge weapon form, which is also the rocket launcher. Then there is pierce, or what I consider the sniper rifle. And then we have surge, or the grenade launcher. You can carry only 2 weapons per loadout, but the advantage is that you can easily swap weapons in your loadout anytime during combat, so you are not stuck with a bad loadout until the next mission. You can also upgrade weapons to unlock slots for mods. You can only equip 3 mods per weapon. Now let us talk about the abilities, or the special abilities, whichever one you want to call it. In my opinion, the special abilities make this game unique. It is hard to find a game where you fight enemies in the air like this. You unlock these special abilities by finding and cleansing objects of power, or OOP, corrupted by the hiss. It is possible to beat the main campaign without unlocking all the abilities, because unlocking some of the abilities are more of side quests than the main story. When you open the abilities menu, you see health, energy, melee, launch, shield, seize, and levitate. You upgrade them using materials you find by exploring the map or by exploring the game, whichever one. Enemies you kill drop some materials, or you can get them by opening the material box as you play the game. Although there are about 7 abilities in the abilities menu, the only abilities you get by cleansing objects of power are launch, shield, seize, and levitate. There is also evade, but it is not in the abilities menu. You cannot even upgrade evade, but evade is so powerful that sometimes it destroys everything around you when you use it. Now let us go through all the special abilities you unlock by cleansing objects of power. The first is levitate, which is the ability to fly or levitate. This ability is critical because you need it to complete some story missions. You unlock levitate in the containment sector by cleansing the Benikoff TV objects of power, or the OOP 7-KE, as you play the main story. Upgrading the levitate ability allows you to levitate for a longer period of time. While levitating, you can also slam into your enemies. Launch gives you the ability to use telekinesis. Any debris or object can be picked up and launched against your enemies. In fact, you can even pick up some dead enemies. Launch can be used to break enemy shields. You unlock launch by cleansing the floppy disk, or the OOP 5-KE. The floppy disk is located in the pneumatics section of the central executive sector. Seize gives you the ability to temporarily turn an enemy into an ally. A seized enemy attacks other enemies, but only for a limited period of time before that seized enemy dies. You can only seize an enemy when their health is low. Upgrading seize increases the time an enemy is seized. I barely use this ability. Man, look at the way I'm just saying seize. Seize is unlocked when you cleanse the X-ray light box, or the OOP 18-PE. Shield is one of the most powerful abilities in this game, in my opinion. This enables you to create a shield using debris or items around you. The shield becomes stronger as it is upgraded. The shield can make you untouchable depending on how you use it. The shield is capable of stopping all enemy attacks. You can even throw the shield debris at your enemies. The shield is unlocked by cleansing the home safe, or the OOP 22-KE, after completing the field training course in the maintenance sector. Now let us talk about modifications or mods. Mods can be applied to both your character and her weapons. Different mods do different things, like increase your energy meter, increase your weapons damage, and even increase your health bar or your health meter, whichever one. There are different tiers of mods, and they are represented by different colors like every other RPG. As you progress in the game, you pick up higher tier mods. You can craft and upgrade your mods in the control point, but don't waste your resources crafting or upgrading mods in the control point. Just play the game and you will eventually pick up higher tier mods. Control is a challenging game, but not on the level of Dark Souls. The base game or the main story is challenging but playable. Where the game begins to torture you is when you play the DLC or when you do some side quests. Holy shit, this game will whoop your ass. There are no difficulty settings. That means you must play the game as it is. However, if the game is too difficult, there are some accessibility options or assist mode to make the game playable. There is even immortality, but why would someone play with immortality turned on? What's the point? There is even one hit kill. Why will you play a game with one hit kill? I don't see the point in putting one hit kill. Anyway, I use assist mode while playing with controller. It makes aiming easy for me. I also used energy recovery multiplier and ammo recovery multiplier set to 10 to fight a Surge. Anything above 10 makes the game become too easy, and even with that, fighting a Surge was epic. Damn, that fight was epic. But if you want to fight a Surge without enabling any of the assist mode or any of the accessibility options, then you have balls of steel. There are a couple of boss fights, and some of them are quite challenging.
What the fuck is that?
Something I have noticed is that some bosses become regular enemies in the game. Control is an RPG, but not exactly an open world RPG, because everything takes place inside a big shifting building. but you can do side quests, you can upgrade and craft items with materials, you can fast travel and so on. You know, the usual shenanigans of any other RPG game. Even though the game can be considered an RPG, the map is something some people might not like. There are no waypoints to show you where to go. The map is kind of useless in some places. You must rely on signs as you play or explore. Although I have played games like Horizon Zero Dawn that gives you waypoints, which of course I love Horizon Zero Dawn, but I like that Control does not hold your hands.
PC has is that if you walk far enough in one direction, you could end up someplace completely different. So all kinds of strange things happen there. It's not just a couple of rooms in an old abandoned house somewhere. There is adventure around every corner, and it's up to players to explore that and see what they can find.
Replayability of Control is bad. You cannot replay the game, or at least I cannot figure out how to replay Control without losing all my progress. There is no new game plus. If you select new game, you lose all your progress. Selecting missions is also useless. If you replay by selecting missions, all your progress, skills, your items, and weapons will revert back to the point before you started that mission in your first playthrough. Did what I say make sense? Trying to use English language to explain some of all these things is difficult. English language is a difficult language, goddamn. So, replaying missions does not make sense. I don't know why they will allow us to upgrade ammo, upgrade mods, apply mods, and any other thing in the game. But you cannot carry over your upgrades when you replay missions, and there is no new game plus. So what is the point? Why should I play an RPG game with upgrades and then I cannot replay the game with new game plus and then carry over all the upgrades and stuff, especially for a game released in 2019. Haba now, haba. Although you cannot replay missions, there are still a lot of things to do and discover. There are 2 DLCs to play. Side missions keep popping up. I think the goal is not just to beat the main story. I think the game wants you to continue running the FPC even after the main game has ended. The game even said there are still hiss that needs to be cleared.
The portal's been closed, but the hiss is still in the oldest house. And the lockdown can't be lifted as long as any trace of it remains. I'm working on a solution with my management team, but there is still a long road ahead.
Instead of just having a few levels that you can play through, we have a lot of different optional content that you can get involved with and get into the deeper lore of the universe. And there's a lot of surprises in there as well.
We can all agree that the graphics of Control is amazing. The game has a distinctive art style that really sets it apart from other games. The graphics do a fantastic job of expressing that weird and mysterious nature of the FBC's universe. The game has destructible environments. During combat, you can destroy almost anything around you. This game gives me Max Payne 2 vibe. I feel like this is how Max Payne 2 would have been if it was made current year. Remedy Entertainment has officially announced that they will remake Max Payne 1 and 2 with the same engine they used for Control, and I cannot wait. The story of Control is quite mysterious and confusing sometimes. Control does not explain the whole story to you. Even after you beat the game, you still need to do some exploration to demystify the game's story.
The main story of the game acts as an introduction to this world. It brings our main character Jessie into this world, and with her the player into this world, and plunges them deep into this mystery.
You unravel the mysterious world of Control as you pick up and read document files, you play some videos on the TVs you find in the game, you listen to audio recordings.
28 days now spent inside what we're calling the oldest house. Northmore insists on the name.
Or even watch some slide projector videos.
Ordinary. So much coming together in this one case. A new object of power, something we have not seen before.
And also from a storytelling perspective, finding ways to tell the story through the environment and the gameplay is important for us. And sometimes it's even better when there is a certain kind of subtlety and restraint as well, that you see hints of something in the world, and you start to form ideas of what that was. You create the stories yourself.
The game has a lot of unanswered questions. Questions about the Hiss and its origins, Polaris, the Hetron, and even the Janitor. Who is the Janitor and why is he so important in some missions?
We take turns to come for a visit. I helped you. You owe me now. And when time comes, I will come calling.
So many mysteries, but even after all that, I had fun playing Control and I recommend it to those who like weird, mysterious and magical kind of games.